Is there something known to the state of California to not cause cancer? Prop 65 was a stupid law, so it produced stupid consequences. When you out labels on everything, you don't notice the labels on the really bad stuff. Stupid law. California puts that on everything. There are plenty of things. But the way the law works isn't if we test your product, and it has toxins, you have to put the label on. It's if you don't spend money to test your own products, even obviously safe ones, you have to put the label on. So for a lot of companies it's just cheaper to put the label on instead of paying to have sugar cookies and steel beams tested at high expense for toxicity. This is why California screwed the pooch with Prop 65. Those warnings are utterly irrelevant and no one cares about them. Probably, but for most producers, it's easier to just slap a Prop 65 warning on a product than to submit it for testing, even if that testing would ultimately come back clear. Yerk, for something to not get the Prop 65 label, it has to be something that's been proven to not be a carcinogen or cause birth defects. If it's untested, or has been tested and the results are inconclusive, it gets the warning label. Yeah, that label had good intention, but is meaningless now because the wording of the regulation was so broad anything could cause cancer and therefore everything needed to be labeled as such, so now everything gets a label because no one want to get sued, not because it makes sense. I ran a small factory in California for years. If you had lead on site you had to pay a fee. Our products didn't contain lead, but we had maintenance products, tools, etc. that could have had lead, so we paid the fee. The first time the state sent us the letter, I sent it on to corporate out of state for payment. The controller calls and asks me why we should pay since we didn't have lead in our products. I had a hard time getting him to understand that the state was shaking us down like the mafia. The fee was protection money that kept the state out of our business. That business is now in Mexico. Error? Nope. Even their own state rock is asbestos. Don't kill the messenger. Proposition 65 requires businesses to provide warnings to Californians about significant exposures to chemicals that cause cancer, birth defects, or other reproductive harm. Kel, there is an excellent podcast episode of 99% Invisible Apes: 99% Invisible. Orgibus, a warning: this podcast contains chemicals known to the state of California to cause cancer or other reproductive harm that discusses the legal history and design choices behind the warning. Very interesting. It's there for lawyers and that's not a conspiracy theory. HTTPS. Crystal Geyser water bottles don't contain BPA. Yay, everything is known by the state of cancer to cause California. I think dihydrogen monoxide, but it can still kill you. Why doesn't SAE just repeal this pointless waste of money?